by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight. Damn right.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I am your host, Franco Zavala. Thank you very much for joining me. This is episode 150 of the show. What's something new before I go into this show? Oh, my daughter, my oldest daughter, and her husband just got in town, so that's fun. They brought their dog and their cat, so it's definitely no chaos in my home. Total, it's all calm, no barking, chewing, jumping, mud. It's funny, like, as a dad and as somebody that has a podcast and needs to film, and I enjoy quiet time, and I used to think that chaos used to annoy the crap out of me. And it's funny what you miss. It's funny what you miss, especially when your oldest comes home and then all the siblings start getting into it with one another. It's funny. It's funny what you miss. Today's episode, guys, is going to be about celebrating the small wins. And I think as stepdads, we tend to forget that the small wins added up over time are the reasons that we are successful within our blended family. It's the reason that we find success through our journey. And it's very easy to overlook the small wins, whether it's just a conversation. Maybe it's connecting with one of the kids in a way that only gave you in return a smile or a head nod. Maybe it's really getting to know yourself or getting to know your partner in a way that kind of brings a little bit more of awareness to who you are as a person and who you want to be as a parent. Now, the reason I'm saying the small wins and why I want you to celebrate the small wins is because we tend to only want to celebrate the big things. Like in our lives, we celebrate birthdays and holidays and anniversaries and weddings, these huge wins. We rarely, you don't ever hear anybody celebrating or throwing a huge party about their first date, right? I mean, I guess you can have anniversaries of our first date, but that's pushing it a bit, I guess. But I think the world would be, I know the world would be a lot better if we just would take some time to celebrate small wins, the little things that actually matter in this world, not the big things that we're praised for or that others see. And maybe sometimes small wins are that you finished 5 pages of your book today, or that you were able to communicate with your stepchild in a way where it actually felt like you got through to them. Because as we move forward, as we're progressing forward, let's say you're in year 2, you can feel like you're doing the work. You can feel like change is there or change is coming, but until something big and drastic happens, like a hug or an I love you, or you hear them call you, to your friends, hey, this is my dad, or even just respect you in the littlest moments, we kind of feel like we need to wait. We're waiting for those moments to happen and unfold. And we miss the small wins. We miss the little things that actually will matter, that actually will contribute to your overall growth, not only as a person, but as a leader, a mentor, a father. So I know we're all looking for that big, knock it out of the park kind of win. For me, that win came when my oldest daughter got married and I got to walk her down the aisle. Right? That was my big, huge win. But thank God I took the time to celebrate all the little tiny wins that I had with her that led up to that moment. That was just like a result of all the small wins, a result of all the hard work. And you don't want to feel guilty either. Is it either or either? You don't want to feel guilty either way. Celebrating the little things. You don't, and I guess you can, and what I mean by guilty is this. It's very easy for us to brush off or push away a win like watch this. I went on the treadmill today and I walked 5 miles, but at a slow pace, but I did. I walked 5 miles, and it's easy to not celebrate that commitment to just get to the gym and to get on the treadmill and to press start. It's easy to not celebrate all the things that led up to that 5 miles. And even then, after we finish the 5 miles, we get into a conversation with somebody later on down the road, and they say, "Hey, would you go to the gym today?" You're like, "Yeah, but I only walked 5 miles on the treadmill." And then it's almost like we want to brush it away, like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. And you're not allowing yourself to feel and to understand the importance of that execution of an idea, a thought, a game plan, an exercise, a routine, a habit, you name it. You need to allow yourself to be okay with the little things matter, right? The small wins do matter. The 5 pages of the book, the walking on a treadmill, the skipping that burger today. And for being and as a stepdad, for us, it means like I said, a head nod, a smile, a thank you. Maybe you're having a hard time connecting with your kids, and they're always on their phone. And maybe you walk in one day and they put their phone down. They look at you and say, "Hey, how was your day?" And right then and there, in that moment, that's a small win. They want to communicate with you, and if you're aware of it, and you've already put in the work on yourself, and you can be aware of like, "Holy shit, I'm about to communicate with them. I'm about to make a connection." Then you have, maybe it's just a 1-2 minute conversation. They give you a smile and they walk away, but that's a small win. And it's so easy to dismiss those small wins as normal, and they're not. They're not normal. And that's why I tell you is to celebrate those small wins. Give yourself a pat on the back. Share it with your partner. Write it down in your journal. Talk about it with another stepdad. We want to make sure that we're always, as step parents, we're always encouraging and we're champions for one another. I love it when I run into somebody that hears the show or has listened to the show and they say, "Hey, thanks for episode this, because what you said in it just really helped me understand that I need to do more work on myself, or I need to be more patient with the kids or with that process." And for me, again, because I'm human, it's easy for me to also just brush those away, like, "Hey, thanks, appreciate that," and not understanding that when I did the podcast, that it was going to have some sort of an effect on another individual in a way that was going to affect their life. And those might be big wins for them and small wins for me, but they're also really big wins for me, because in those moments I'm able to not only be aware of it, but I'm asking more questions and I'm concerned about, what they thought of the show, because I want to make it as best as I can. Like, these are celebrating small wins. These little things that you do matter. These little things that you do each and every day matter to the kids and to everyone in the family. So guys, this episode today is real quick. It's real easy. It's real to the point. Give yourself a break. Celebrate the little things. Celebrate the small wins in your life, however small you may think that they are. They're big for someone else. However small you think they are, they're affecting someone else in a way that you may not know. So don't wait for that Hail Mary pass. Don't wait for that Super Bowl win when it comes to the kids respecting, valuing, and loving you. Be okay with getting on first base, getting a first down. Be okay with a handshake, a hug, a conversation, a smile, a head nod. All those small wins it is okay to celebrate those. Celebrate them for what they are. They're a stepping stone that you need in your journey. Because guess what? Every time you do, you celebrate the small wins, and every time you experience a small win, this stepping stone is pulled out of this metaphorical backpack and it's set on the ground, and it allows you to keep moving forward through your journey. Because remember, you can't see what's ahead. And for the most part, it's an unpaved road where nobody has gone before, because it's your specific journey. So the small wins are stepping stones for better moments, for greater times. And like I said before, for that moment where you get to walk your oldest child down the aisle it is an experience like none other. And I'm so happy I got to that point. But I'm also so very happy that I was aware that it wasn't just going to happen. I had to put in the work to get there. I had to forgive myself. I had to be okay with failing more often than winning. And I had to remember that when I get the smile, when I get the head nod, when I get the note, when I get the thank you, when I get the I appreciate you, when I get the hug, and when I get, you name it, fill in the blank. When that happens, celebrate it. Even if it's not out loud, celebrate it in your heart. Smile big, because it means you're in the right place. You're doing the right things. And you're not dwelling on all the times and all the moments that you kind of screwed up, or you messed up, or you made a mistake. Because none of that will ever matter as long as you remember to just stay there, be in the moment, stay locked in, stay engaged, and celebrate those small wins that will eventually, through patience, get you to a place within your blended family, get you to a moment within your journey where you can feel accomplished, you can feel present, you can feel loved, valued, respected. You can feel like what you do matters. And you will be able to celebrate that big, huge win when it comes, but you'll celebrate like an anniversary, like a wedding, like a birthday, right? So celebrate the small wins, stepdads. It's quite all right. It's very natural. It's very normal. It's very healthy, and it's necessary. It's necessary. It's not because there's not a lot of people in your life that are probably celebrating what you're doing, understand what you're doing, agree with what you're doing. And those small wins to you mean something. So make sure you give yourself a smile in the mirror, a pat on the back, and then continue to move forward. Put that stepping, that stone on the ground and just take another step. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, 150, and I will talk to you soon. Be well. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.